Well, well, well. Hello there, how are you doing? Let's talk about Phrygian and how we can master the Phrygian caged scale shapes. We're gonna do it just like we've done with Dorian and Aeolian and Conspirian and the blues scale. We're gonna pair it with the minor pentatonic. And this time we're gonna add the intervals flat 2, which is a new one, haven't added that before, and flat 6, which we have added when we played Aeolian. Okay? So it's quite far away from Dorian. It's as far away as you could be. It's got those two missing intervals are the other ones. So Dorian 2 and 6, Phrygian flat 2, flat 6. But it's kind of similar to Aeolian. It does sound quite different though. Here's Aeolian. Here's Phrygian. Some people like to think that this is Spanish. It's definitely like an angry minor, like a mourning widow. So the reason it sounds angry is because this semitone interval here and the semitone interval here. So you don't find a song that has the home at chord 3. Well, I haven't found one. Maybe in metal you find one where they're really angry. And maybe if you move to Spain you'll find loads. I don't know. I don't live there. So let's work this out by just practicing it like we have before. And then we're going to do the even angrier cousin Phrygian dominant later as well. So we better get on with it because we're going to do all of this in one little step here. Quickly. G minor shape. Minor pentatonic. Where's my flat 2? There. Not happy. It's the angry neighbor. You're making too much noise. Don't go below the root note. We don't have time for that. Back to minor pentatonic, because we know that one now. The flat 2 seems more obvious where it was. Where's the flat 6? Well, you know, because we played Aeolian. So that's going to be quite quick to work out. And then we go back again to our beloved minor pentatonic. Maybe put that chord in as well. And now we play the really pissed off neighbor. The one who writes notes and puts it through our letterbox. And then we move that to D. Flat 2. Back. Must always go back. Flat 6 that is. And back. Oops. And now. So you know what to do with that. You need to take it through all 12 keys. And you need to do some other stuff than just practicing scales all the time as well. And then tomorrow is a new day and we look at the E minor shape. Flat 2. Oh. Back. Oops. Flat 6, flat 6, flat 6, flat 6. Back. Move to D. flat 6, back, and now when you're taking that around all the Spanish keys, then you're done. And it's time to move on to the D minor shape. Again. Make sure you can really see that. Back, flat 6, and the whole thing. Move it around all 12 keys, and then the next day, C minor, shape. That's the 2. We want a flat 2. Right? There. So you got to keep doing that until you're completely sure that this is absolutely correct. And then you go back. And then you add the flat 6. Do that again maybe. And now you go back. And now. Oops. Without a doubt, that's the most difficult shape to play, the Phrygian C minor shape. Nightmare. Take that through all 12 keys and it won't be a nightmare anymore, it'll be a lovely dream. A minor shape. Yeah, you keeping up? That's the flat 2. That's the flat 2. Where's the flat 6 then? Well, we first play our minor pentatonic and then we find it. And then we go back. And then we play it. And then we do it in D. Flat 2. Back. Flat 6. Back. And now, finally, Phrygian. And round and round and round we go. Okay, so that's gonna take a while. Oh, I've been doing this all day. My hand's starting to hurt a bit. So, see, that's what you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be doing this all day. It gets confusing after a while. All these bloody intervals. What are they doing? So just focus on, taking 2 or 3 of the shapes around all 12 keys. When you can do it, and there's no problem anymore, then you spend one of your day's sections of practicing connecting the shapes for 10 to 15 minutes. Here's the G minor shape. Yeah, we're going there first. And that's your flat 6. Yeah? Make sure you can see that. Here's the minor pentatonic. That's the flat 2, that's the flat 6. That's the flat 2. That's the flat 6. And there as well. It is the hardest one to learn. So when you come down here, you go to this one. Make sure you can see the minor pentatonic, make sure you can see the chord shape, make sure you can see those. those intervals. When you come down here, make the switch. Oops. There, right? And then switch. Okay? And then you do it in all keys, and then you don't do anything more that day. And then the next day, closest possible shape, a fourth up. Closest possible shape, a fourth up. And then C. And then in F, Phrygian. That's the hardest one, remember? Focus on those intervals. See the whole shape. Flat 2, flat 6, flat 2, flat 6, flat 2, flat 6. It's the hardest one, by far. And you know, I don't practice Phrygian every day, and I don't use it that much either. I use like minor 7 arpeggios really when it comes to the third chord more often than Phrygian. It just seems like a bit too aggressive. Maybe I should do it more, I don't know. I use Dorian all the time. I use Aeolian all the time. I use Lydian. I use Mixolydian all the time. I don't use Phrygian all the time. So when I go through all these scales for you here, I'm like, oh man, this shape here, you know, it's like, I said this before in other lessons here, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. It's like my Swedish. I can understand Swedish, no problem still. No, there's not like, what does that word mean? There's no problem there. Speaking it though, after living in a different country, thinking and talking and dreaming in English for 20 years, I just keep dropping words all the time. I'm like, what's that called? And that's the same with scales. If you don't use it, it'll go. So what you gotta do is you gotta put yourself through this process, which I did once, you know. You gotta learn all the shapes in all the keys, and you gotta connect them, and you gotta do it. And then you gotta start using them. And then if it turns out that you don't use it that much, you'll lose it. But if you don't do this work before, you don't even have the chance of using it. You gotta give yourself that chance. And maybe you'll end up, I don't really play Phrygian that much. But maybe you won't. Maybe it'll be your favorite thing. Maybe you'll write songs where chord 3 feels like home. I mean, it's not like that's been done before much. It could be a thing. It's just the same as all the other modes. There's very few songs in Lydian, although they do exist. Phrygian, I can't think of any. But maybe that's the untapped resource, yeah? Okay, so before I sign off here on this step, we're gonna look at the angry cousin, Phrygian dominant. This one's more common than Phrygian in a way. Maybe not. Well, they're probably equally as common. So the third chord has turned into a major chord. That happens all the time.